I know a lot of folks in our region have been waiting to hear.
Again, we have to really say it out loud for it to soak in so it feels real. The Commanders have officially been sold.
Yeah, that's right. NFL owners just voted to seal the deal roughly 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, this means Dan Snyder about to get out of here. Well, he is out of here now. The Josh Harris Group will be taking the reins of the team.
Yeah, you know, we've been on top of this story from the get-go, and we are not stopping now. Eric Flack is partying with Commander superfans in Navy Yard tonight. We'll get some of their reaction in just a minute.
First, though, to Charlotte McBride in Minneapolis, right outside the room where this vote happened. Charlotte, fill us in on some of the details here.
Yeah, guys, I'm right outside the room, as you just mentioned, where this all happened. It's been a wild ride to get here, as you guys know. And as we know from where Eric Flack is reporting tonight, a lot of Washington fans celebrating in the streets. What we know that the vote was done just about 10 minutes ago. It is unanimous. Of course, all of the other NFL team owners voting to approve the sale of the Washington Commanders to the Josh Harris Group, as you guys mentioned. So we were told in about 4 minutes from now in this room behind me that NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and, of course, the new Commanders owner, Josh Harris, will be holding a news conference. So we'll hear from them immediately after the vote. The owners starting to trickle out of the rooms now, many of them just quickly stopping to tell us things like, "This is great, we're happy." And earlier today, we heard from Colts owner Jim Irsay. He, of course, said he was hopeful it would go through. We just talked to him. He said it is a great day. And, of course, also hearing from Jerry Jones, he was also hopeful going in, coming out, all smiles. So all the owners obviously wanted this to happen, as all of them coming out now and voted unanimously. I'm told everyone's going in here behind me. So, guys, I got to send it back to you because we are about to hear from the new owner of the Washington Commanders.
All right, Charlotte, thank you. Now we're going to go check in with Eric Flack, who is at the bullpen in the Navy Yard right near Nats Park. And Eric, I've got to ask you this. There has been universal hatred, really, disdain towards Dan Snyder. There's not really two sides of this thing. How are people feeling down there about the sale?
I think you know how people down here are feeling about the sale, Longo. They dubbed this party Burgundy and Sold. It was put together by a bunch of radio stations, including 106.7 The Fan. I didn't really know what to expect, but people have taken this and run with it. They are taking selfies. We have some former Washington football legends like Brian Mitchell and Rick Doc Walker here. People have their gear. They are taking videos. They're taking pictures with their kids, all because this is a day that many of them have waited years for. Talk about your shirt.
It's just bye, Dan. We are done with you. Get out of our city and leave our football team alone. We never want to see you again.
We're rejoicing. This is the end of a Snyder era that we have had. We have basically been the devil for like 24 years straight. I mean, no more of him making decisions, no more problems or drama in the front office. Hopefully Josh Harris coming in, and we got Magic coming in. We're gonna have Magic here with us.
I've never been here for closing Constitution Avenue and having a ticker tape parade. This is the next best thing. I fully expect to be here for another ticker tape parade, but this will have to do until then.
The brand new beginnings, as they say. You know, it's a beautiful day. Everyone's going to be happy. Wake up tomorrow knowing that our whole new organization is going to be moving forward. It's going to be bringing back the winning tradition to our city here.
All right, guys, the party here continues. We're going to have more coming up at 6. For now, they are celebrating here at Bullpen at Navy Yard. Now we go to the press conference right now, live.
All right, Flack, yeah, as you said, that press conference happening between NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and Josh Harris. Let's listen in.
Okay, thank you.
All set? Okay, let me make a few comments about Josh. I think Josh is going to be a great addition to the NFL and his ownership group. He has a remarkable business record, not just in finance, but also now in sports. And I think he's a person who cares deeply about not just his assets, but more importantly, his communities and how he gives back. So we look forward to having Josh a part of the league. He's brought an incredible group of investors and partners that all seem to have ties to Washington. As someone who grew up in Washington, I know how important that franchise is to that community, and the franchise, I know is in good hands with this group. So we're thrilled to have him. And so we'll invite Josh up. He'll take a few questions, and then I'll be back for a few more questions.
Thanks, Roger.
Yep.
And hello, everyone. It's an exciting day. And Commissioner, thank you for voting for us and allowing us to be partners and great stewards in the NFL. And we're excited for your trust, and we will not let you down. So as a lifelong Washington football fan that grew up in Chevy Chase, I'm incredibly excited and humbled by the opportunity to serve alongside my partners as stewards of this great franchise on behalf of the city of Washington, D.C. One of my first memories as a child was walking down East Capitol Street, walking into RFK Stadium, hearing the roar of the crowd, feeling the rumble. I grew up watching Sonny Jurgensen, Billy Kilmer, Joe Theismann, Mark Rippon, Doug Williams, the Hogs, Joe Gibbs, Darrell Green, Art Monk, and 3 Super Bowls. And I remember that's the Washington, then Redskins, now Commanders that I remember. This franchise is part of who I am and who I've become as a person. But being a fan is not enough. To be successful, we understand that we need to win championships, create a positive impact on the community, and create incredible memories and great experiences for our fan base, much like I had as a youth growing up in Washington. We'll have more to say in the days that come, but today I want to leave it here. To our team and the incredible fan base in Washington, a new era of Washington football is here. It's time to get to work. Thank you.
We'll begin now with questions for Mr. Harris. We do have the microphones. Let's begin now with Mark Maskey, Washington Post.
Josh, this obviously was an up and down process. What are your feelings about the process as you get to the end of it? And also, do you have a sense of the significance that this day holds for both the fan base and for the league as a whole?
Yeah, look, obviously it was a long process. Sometimes that's what happens. We're very excited to get to work and to start the new era of Washington football. And we are humbled and awed by the level of responsibility that we have to take care of the city and to win championships and to, really excite the fans again.
Next question, John Pine, ESPN.
You just stated how you grew up as a Washington fan.
I did.
Has it been hard for you to see how the team has kind of deteriorated over the last couple decades? And what do you feel is a responsibility to kind of rebuild that? And how, is it an immense responsibility?
Yeah, look, obviously it's an amazing day for me and very exciting, but I've had many sleepless nights and I will have many sleepless nights. Look, I'm going to sweat this. I feel an awesome sense of responsibility to the city of Washington. I know what I got to do. And ultimately that comes down to winning, and it's not easy. There are 31 other owners that are good at what they do. There are 31 other cities, but it's on me and it's on our ownership group to deliver, and that's what we're going to do.
Hey, Josh, congrats. You've talked about the glory years and everything, and all of that was at RFK Stadium. Roger Goodell, last time we spoke, he said he understands how important RFK is. How important is RFK to you, and how do you view that in the prism of the new brand, and are there a lot of things for you to consider there?
Yeah, look, obviously we're just getting here, and we're on the eve of training camp, which starts, obviously this weekend and into next week. And, our first priority is going to be football and what we do on the field. We're hard at work trying to figure out how we improve fan experience. And then we're going to start engaging with the community. Those are our 3 priorities. And obviously, there's a lot of things. What I love about Washington, it has incredibly passionate football fans, and they want to talk about a lot of things. And obviously, that's one of them. And we're going to be focused on that. But right now, it's day one, and it's going to take a while to unpack what really makes sense. As far as RFK, obviously, I understand it's the spiritual home of the history of the Commanders.
Let's go a couple more. Next, we'll go to Charlotte from Channel 9.
Hey there. I know that you have a home in Philadelphia, New Jersey, obviously owning different teams and different sports. How involved do you see yourself being with the Commanders? Do you see yourself being in Washington a lot of the time?
Yeah, so look, first of all, my mom is in Washington. My friends, where I grew up, she's still there. So I'm going to be in Washington a lot. I need to be present. I'm going to be part of the community again. I'm really looking forward to coming home. Cousins, friends, and so, yeah, I have a lot going on. But, this is incredibly important right now for this city. And I'm going to be remembered for what I do in Washington, and so that's not lost on me. And so I'm all in.
Let's go next. Ben from The Athletic.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Ben.
You mentioned the football side of things. Obviously, you've got a lot to evaluate, but how much have you been already studying, and how much have you been kind of aware of, what's been going on that side of the building?
Yeah, so we haven't really had a lot of access. Before you own an NFL team or pick to own an NFL team, really there's a lot of different rules to staying away. So I've obviously met the football staff, and I've obviously witnessed what they've done from the outside in terms of some of the improvements they've brought to the team over the last few years. It's a big, important season, but day one, we're going to be engaging with them and trying to understand how they tick and what they do. And so for the first season, right, we're getting here right at training camp. The reality is that a lot of what you do as in ownership to affect a team happens prior to this point. And so we're going to be doing a lot of listening and learning and watching watching what Ron and his staff do.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Harris. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
We'll see you again tomorrow.
See you soon.
Thanks, Josh. All right, I'll see you.
All right, that's our first time hearing from Josh Harris. He's kind of been in the background throughout this whole process. The new owner of the Washington Commanders there. And, what stood out to me, he says a new era of Washington football is here. And he really touched on improving the fan experience, getting through to the fans first and foremost.
Yeah, a lot of key takeaways there. Also talking about what he feels is the level of responsibility taking over this franchise, improving the brand, improving the fan experience, and making it a more welcoming franchise for everyone. And then there was the subtleness of his opening statements talking about RFK and him reliving the glory days of walking down East Capitol Street. People asking questions about that because we know a stadium deal is going to be one thing that he's going to have to deal with here in the next year or so.
Yeah, there's a lot to figure out. All right, so we want to know, what are you most looking forward to under this new ownership?
Yeah, we want to share these thoughts with you, and we want you to share them with us. Use the hashtag WSA9 to share your thoughts with us on social media, so then we can share them back on television. You can also text us what you think. Text us to 202-895-5599.